Shannon's making a face. Did we do something wrong?
No, I just make faces the whole time because I'm like looking at myself, so it's like really hard not to.
I thought that was like a face that we did an or something.
No,
Yeah,
I just
me
like
too.
making faces.
Oh my gosh. Hi, Shannon.
Hi, Allie.
Hi, Sarah. Sarah, how are you?
You know, I'm feeling a little bit nostalgic right now, actually.
Me too.
Yeah?
Yeah,
You
that's
in
so
the- in the
wild.
spirit?
It's
Huh.
just the time of year, you know?
It must be the time of year. You know, there's endings and new beginnings and reminders, like the reminder that I got on my phone during the game tonight of the fact that we recorded our very first episode of this show exactly 1 year today.
That's insane.
Yeah. And now we're recording our 30th one,
Happy birthday.
which crazy.
It's funny.
Happy birthday to our podcast.
Wow.
The fact that we made it, can I just really like admit to you guys now that I genuinely, like after we recorded that first episode, I just like never actually thought you were going to post it.
Yeah.
And then I woke up and saw that Sarah had posted it and panicked.
Yeah.
I was like,
Sorry.
oh, I got to tweet this out. What do I do with this?
Forced you into it.
It was
Had
good.
no choice at that point.
It's been so fun. Well, thanks for listening along for a whole year of us yapping. And it's only gotten more insane and delusional as we've gone.
Yeah, thanks for holding on.
Yeah.
That's why this is Hot Girls Hockey. Born in Jersey, our weekly opinions on the Devils. There's no facts here because we analyze by vibes.
That we do.
All right, Allie. What is our red carpet report of this week?
All right.
And before we get into it, I must confess. Oh, I lied. Everything I said is a lie. I saw some of these ahead of time, but now I'm seeing new photos.
Yeah, I didn't upload everything ahead of time. I had to keep you on your toes, keep you guessing.
I also threw one in here.
I saw that.
Just for fun. It doesn't have to, qualify for anything because technically it's, not the Devils, but I just thought it was fun.
Yeah.
Wanted to shout it out.
100%. Do you want to start at the top or the bottom? It's been a while since I've asked you that.
I forget. We always lean towards one and then the other. I think we like the best first and then the worst.
We can do
I
whatever
think
you
that's
want.
what we normally do.
That is what we normally do. But I was giving you the opportunity if you wanted to go the other way around today. It's okay. We don't have to.
Let's do it. Let's do it the opposite way.
Okay.
Why not?
I had a hard time deciding what direction I was going to go with this.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I just saw the
obviously
one.
all except for one of these outfits come from opening the home opener.
Okay.
Where the
Right.
Devils walked the literal red carpet, signed some autographs. So they showed up in their best outfits. And there were a lot of suits that we've previously seen before. Timo looked great. Jesper Bratt looked great. Nico looked great. The crew showed up in all of their usual outfits. They looked good. So I was more drawn to the newer outfits and some of the newer guys.
Yeah.
And I always have a hard time deciding when someone wears an outfit that's outside the box, outside the norm. I go back and forth on whether or not I want to reward it or give it a room for most improvement. We did this last week with Eric Halla, where I was like, this jacket is just kind of off, but I like that it's weird, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so my point is I went back and forth for a while on this outfit that is being worn by Brendan Dillon. Sarah, please tell me this is actually Brendan Dillon.
Well,
The guy with the pink tie.
with the pink tie, yes. That
Okay,
is
thank
him.
God. I've been struggling. I can't use concussion as an excuse anymore.
No, you still can for a little bit. It's fine.
Yeah, I can
Nobody-
milk that
it's
one
fine.
for a little bit.
Yeah.
So, okay, thank God. So this is a photo of Brendan Dillon. He's getting out of the car.
I love it.
A lot of these are I screenshotted from videos, so I'm sorry if they're action shots. But Brendan Dillon showed up in a relatively unremarkable navy blue suit. It looks fine. It's fitted fine. And then he has a Pepto-Bismol pink tie.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about the tie?
I like the tie. I don't think it fits with the suit, but I like the tie.
Yeah, that's kind of where I landed. I was like,
Yeah.
I like the tie, but
The pop of color is really nice.
I
And
think the thing that throws it off is that the hat doesn't go with the tie either.
I love the hat too.
So I don't dislike the hat. I'm just saying it doesn't go with the suit and the tie.
Right. So that's where I got stuck too, because the hat is like a classic, if I'm not wrong. And this is like a true fedora, not like one of those weird little wimpy like trilby hats.
So
I think this is like from at least what I can see in this photo, this is like an actual true fedora. It's hard to tell if it's light brown or if it's more gray. I think it's gray in just this photo. I can't remember now from the video, but it doesn't match I like the hat. And I think
like it.
In general, we should wear more hats, like as people. And I don't mean like baseball caps. Nothing wrong with that, like a baseball cap or a beanie. But like, I just think we should wear more like hats. Wait.
Hat.
Yeah. hat.
Bring it back to episode 1 all over again.
This is not a hat I would want to seduce out of anyone.
No, fair enough.
I don't know. This is like a lot of hockey bros seem to be wearing fedoras. I don't know. The vibes are just off. The hat doesn't quite match the tie, which doesn't quite match the suit. I'd like all of the individual elements, and I would like to see him wear them again, just not necessarily in this combination.
I agree.
So I give this one room for most improvement.
Okay.
Then I actually haven't decided who my best is yet.
Oh.
So we're going to talk through some of my favorite outfits.
Okay.
JK, I decided.
Oh, okay.
Wait a second. Okay, now I'm confused. All right, let's get to it. Let's get to it.
Okay. This next picture I'm going to draw your attention to is Johnny Kovacevic.
Yes.
Pinstripe suit.
I love this one.
Yes. I love this outfit too. It is just a nice classic 3-piece black and like silver pinstripe suit. And he's got like the double-breasted waistcoat with it. And the tie, like the silk tie, it's a nice like black satin. And at first I wasn't so sure about this brooch, or what's it called? A tie pin if it's on a tie? Is that what it's called? I wasn't
tie clip.
It's tie clip. Yeah.
Oh.
It gave it almost like an aviator feel when I first saw it. But then someone pointed out that it's actually, if you zoom in, it's the Montenegro eagle, which is where he has some family heritage.
Oh.
I think that's cute. I like that.
I do.
It's a sharp outfit and I love that little detail.
Yeah, I love this. It's super sleek.
Oh yeah. I just love that the buttonhole is pink.
Well, I don't think it's pink.
I don't think it is.
That's just a reflection.
That's just the lighting.
There's a fan standing next to him wearing a red Devils jersey, and it was really sunny out. So I think that's like the reflection.
Damn it!
But I like that the stitching on there's a contrasting stitching on the cuff buttonholes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So this is a contender. This is
a
running.
Contender. Yeah. I thought you said you decided.
Well, I did decide, but I'm building anticipation for you.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm curious where you're going next.
Oh God, this is Paul Cotter, right? I've called so many men Paul Cotter in the past couple episodes that I can't remember anymore. Okay, Paul Cotter.
Yeah.
Also known as Cotter McDavid. The man, the myth, the legend.
It's true.
This suit. Oh, I wish I had a better picture of this. I feel like the screenshot doesn't do it full justice. Okay, so he is also in a 3-piece suit. It's kind of like a plum brown waistcoat. Love it. Contrasting, but also kind of matching like in the same wine red family tie, white button down, and a hat.
Yeah.
It is a hat.
A nice, it's like I think it's a black wool hat with like a satin band. Is this a
bolo?
I think it's kind of a bolo. Yeah, I think that's what it is.
I don't know if it's technically, but it's like
that's
very close.
The general shape of it. Bolo hat is what I instinctively thought too. I love this hat. And I think it complements his outfit beautifully.
Oh yeah.
It's not the best photo, I'm realizing now, because he's in the car and I don't know if you can fully see like the distinction between him and the car. I'll see if I can find a better photo for you. But I think this outfit looks so cool. I love the colors. The hat matches.
It's good. The hat matches. It's funny if I'm like comparing hats. I weirdly like the fedora more because the big brim feels more like a statement.
Too,
really?
But like I like this hat. If I'm comparing hat to hat,
right,
I like the fedora. But if I'm comparing outfits, this is so much better.
Agreed. Yeah. This one has like some old timey banker kind of vibes to it. That are just kind of fun. Why not?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I feel like he just like stepped out of a period piece for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is a great outfit. Who else do I have here?
This is the one I'm confused about.
Well,
that I'm
gee.
excited to talk about.
Yeah.
There is a photo. This is not from the home opener. I think this is from the Capitals game.
Okay.
This is a picture of Jack Hughes.
Yeah, this is why
Yeah.
I'm confused.
I'm going to draw your attention to two things about this suit. One,
Sure.
okay, we can't see his feet, so I can't be positive. But based off the 3/4 of his body that I can see, this appears to be a properly fitted suit.
It does.
Okay. For some reason, I thought it was the same suit.
I would like you to zoom in on this picture, specifically on the
I did.
lapel.
I have noticed.
Do you see this like loop stitch detailing going around the lapel?
Yeah.
I do.
That's
I love
interesting.
that.
I'm extremely familiar with this loop stitch.
I think this is super cool. I actually think it's like a fun little element to elevate an otherwise simple suit because Jack is not
Yes.
like the most, he does not go for like the most interesting fashion pieces. So you can tell
No.
he's kind of like a jeans and a t-shirt sort of guy.
Yeah.
And when he wears a suit, you can tell he picks like the most simple gray, black, blue
Yeah.
suit.
It's not his priority.
Yeah, which is fine. But I love this. It's just a gray suit, but it has like this loop stitch detailing on the
Yeah.
lapel that I think is so fun and it's so cool and it actually fits. I really like this outfit a lot.
It's nice.
Yeah.
So, time to give out awards.
I'm like surprised, Allie.
I feel like there's a clear order here in my mind.
I don't
Agree.
know. I feel like this might be
Whoa.
Oh, she's going to disappoint us.
I know.
controversial.
She's going to disappoint us.
I don't know. I am giving first place to Paul Cotter.
Oh, interesting.
I just
All
think this
right.
outfit came together so perfectly.
All right.
I love
Fair.
it. A very close second place is Brendan Dillon.
Mm,
Wait,
Brendan
what?
Dillon.
Brendan Dillon.
Who else is on this list?
that's
Johnny
Johnny
Kovacevic.
Kovacevic.
That's right. Sorry,
Okay.
it's the concussion. For the rest of the season,
Oh
anytime
my
I misspeak, it's the
gosh.
concussion. And then apparently, since I've added third place, now we have Jack.
I disagree, but
I do too, but
I could have gone either way. I do think that if Paul's outfit, you have like a photo of the full outfit, I should have given better photos.
okay.
I
It's
do
true.
think-
I can't see the pants and the shoes.
Yeah.
I'm not mad about it. I love the color. It's
Yeah.
nice.
I'm weirdly going to trust you this time because I don't know if you noticed, Sarah, but there's somebody not on this list.
Oh,
I
do you want
did
to talk
notice,
about Nico?
actually.
Okay, we can.
No.
So
Oh,
exciting
sure.
news
She's got
on
something
the
ready.
on the Nico Heischer front. We have seen officially the return of the Rose beanie,
Oh, did we?
but they also lost that game. So Nico, take off the fucking beanie.
Oh.
and maybe you'll start winning again.
Okay.
Let the
Oh,
people see your hair.
interesting.
Give them what they want.
I
Let's do it.
wonder.
Okay.
Anyway, there is a guest entry here. I think a contribution to the special. What did I call this last time? The special special.
You
award?
called it the semi-weekly special
Oh, the
award.
semi-weekly special award. Well, it's turning
Yeah.
into the weekly special award.
Well, yeah.
Who is
Maybe.
this, Sarah?
I love this.
This is our bear Jakai. Had to look that up. And he, for the Canadians opening night, wore a suit with a little subtle messaging in it, which is a pinstripe suit that says "fuck you" down the stripes of it.
It's like in teeny tiny little writing, and if you zoom
Teeny
in on the
tiny little
pinstripes,
letters.
vertical, it goes "F you."
Yeah, I just think it's silly.
I think it is. I like it. I think it's silly. I think it's a little early in the season to be bringing in that energy.
It is. I don't know why he's
Yes.
so mad.
I think we could have waited until a little bit later
Yeah.
on.
I
Who
love
is he
it.
saying "F you" to?
I don't know his
Toronto,
personality.
I think,
so
is who they played at their home opener. So yeah, maybe they've
Maybe
earned
them.
that.
I don't know.
If I had something with pinstripes that said this, I would wear it all the time. I just love it.
This
This
is
is
fun.
great.
It's a silly little outfit. So you get our semi-weekly
Yeah.
special award.
Congrats.
All right. Oh my gosh, Sarah. I'm like scared. But can you bring us into our weekly update?
There's no reason to be scared yet. We're all right for
Okay.
right now. And I'm going to remain in this delusional state where everything is all right for as long as we can, because we are still, as of recording this episode, even though there are 9 games happening today, and this is probably not going to be accurate by the end of this, but it's fine. We are still number 1 in the NHL.
Damn straight. Who else would it be? The greatest team in the NHL, the New Jersey
Exactly.
Devils.
It's so funny because when we talked about that last episode, I didn't think we would ever get the chance to ride that high again, even sarcastically. And
eventually we won't, but for now,
eventually.
I'll
But
take it for
we
another
can still
week.
ride it for a little bit.
a little bit longer.
Woo.
So yeah, we've got a total of 8 points.
You know what's more important about this list is look who's lower than the Devils.
Everybody, we're the first.
Well, everybody
in the
is,
list.
yeah, technically.
Yeah, but I just would like to point out specifically that the Rangers
Yeah, fair enough.
are
Yeah,
lower down there.
they
And
are still sitting at they are second in the Metro, but
that's fine.
they're third
for now.
overall in the NHL.
Sucks to suck, New York.
Well, fourth, I guess. I don't know. There's a bunch of teams tied for second right now. So but yeah, we've got 4 wins, 2 losses.
Woo!
Number 1 in the NHL, New Jersey Devils.
Oh my
Once again.
Eventually, other teams will start playing more games and catching up, but that's fine.
but-
We don't need to think about that right now.
That's my favorite thing to call later problems.
Exactly. Some other things that happened this week. Jake Allen became the first player in NHL history with a win against 33 different franchises,
Hell yeah.
which is really cool.
Wow.
Jake the Snake.
It's just because they were the first team to beat Utah. So
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
congrats to our close personal friend, Jake Allen.
I love how we adopt that phrase for several different players throughout this, our close personal friend. With goalies, they're always our close personal friend for some reason.
You got to protect them, you know?
Tonight, Columbus also had their home opener and they raised a banner to the rafters for Johnny Gaudreau. They had a memorial ceremony and they left his spot in left wing open and stopped play for 13 seconds. And it was really beautiful, but very sad that they had to do it all, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aw. It's a nice, like, touching memorial.
Yeah.
I remember the first time when we went to the game, they had a moment of silence.
Yeah.
And it was very sweet.
It's
and
nice that all of the teams are doing it.
Yeah.
I'm going to start
So
crying. Sorry.
Some other more lighthearted things that happened, though. Ivan started with the Colorado Avalanche, making him the first player in NHL history with the same first and last name.
Oh,
It's just a silly little fact that I
Wonderful
think is
news.
fun.
I love
Wonderful
that.
news. Congrats to you, Ivan.
Mr. Ivan.
Yep.
that's incredible.
I love that. That's great.
If I had to guess, I bet his nickname is Ivan.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And
I'm
lastly, Buffalo seems to be fighting themselves.
Yeah.
at
What is
practice.
happening in Buffalo?
What's going on? So yeah, there was a video recorded at a practice where Darlene, their captain, he hit Peyton Krebs kind of low, like at his hips. Krebs went over his head, and then Darlene like dropped his gloves and immediately started swinging at him. And just somehow I know this is Lindy Ruff's fault.
Like, it's gotta be. I just
It
don't
has to be.
understand how this.
What other reason would there be?
If your
not
captain
that.
is fighting his own teammates, whether he initiated the fight or they did, something is horribly
Something
wrong.
is wrong.
Something's wrong.
That should not be
Mhm.
happening.
Yeah.
Lindy Ruff's new team going great.
Yep.
Yeah. So, how's our team doing? How did we do
Well, we're gonna
on
kind of
our home opener?
we're gonna kind of bookend this conversation tonight because they start and end with a loss in terms of the games that we will be recalling. Shannon, you got to experience the home opener in its full entirety. I was wearing
Yes.
earplugs and zoning out. What do you
Yeah.
got? What you got for us?
All right. And I was very scared. I was like scared to scream next to you.
I couldn't hear you. Honestly,
I'm so glad because
I
I
think,
was like, I thought I was really annoying. So
as someone who like hates loud noises, like I hate the goal buzzer so
Yeah.
much. I think I should wear earplugs to every game. It was quite delightful.
So the opening, I have to talk about it. Let me rewind. Allie arrived to the game early or on time, and my dad showed up not on time.
Oh boy.
Sarah was hysterical. We like get into the Prudential Center and it's like food and beer, and then we're gonna go sit down. And then I hear the opening video and I was like, nope, we gotta go sit down.
Gotta
I
go see it.
cannot
Yep.
miss this video.
Nope.
Might have missed the black bubbles. I don't know if there was any, but it doesn't matter
Mm.
because Sarah, it was cinematic.
Ooh.
But it was dramatic and it was edgy. Like it gave me this vibe. I loved it. It had ice shattering graphics, like a lot of the ice filter over the frame. And then when the person scores, the ice shatters.
That's fun.
Red glitter on the Jumbotron. On the bottom graphics that has like all the scores and stuff. It was just glitter. I was like, oh, I like this.
Yeah.
Do it more often.
Could have glitter.
Yeah. And the video itself was the new media day photos were great because they were super contrasty, where they had the red lighting on one side. So like just an outline of their face had the red light and then the rest was dark. And I'm like, I love it. It's just good.
Very cool.
I think the Devils could lean a little more into fire.
Yes.
Maybe not a little bit, like a lot of it. Like I just want to see way more fire.
Yeah, why don't they?
I don't know. Maybe next season. But I was really happy. I didn't miss the video. It was great. I had a great time.
Yeah, it was a fun game.
The players have a great time? I don't think so.
Maybe not, but
I had a great time in my seat.
Yeah.
I also got extra M&Ms, but oh, wow. This note is garbage.
Yeah,
Shannon,
I didn't know
garbage.
if you wanted to keep it in here or not.
Sarah, I don't know if you know, but we have this tradition of third period ice cream.
I do.
And I'm getting into this because this was a part of my great time. I get ice cream. And why is the ice cream line so effing long?
I will never understand eating ice cream at a hockey game. It's cold in there. I don't eat ice cream anytime though. Like,
oh, okay.
Not because I just don't like ice. I just don't like ice cream. It's cold.
But I got extra M&Ms, so I was happy. But we need they need to like serve half the portion because my dad and I could only finish the top, and I felt like
you
really
are
bad.
Lactose intolerant.
It's
normal people can eat a cup of ice cream, Shannon. I don't know that there's any amount of ice cream they should be serving to you. This was like, I was like, what?
We're going to find a new third period tradition.
Okay.
Maybe.
Anyway.
And we have,
oh my God.
So this was the Devils home opener. And I think it's important to note that it was the end of a back-to-back for the Leafs. They lost their first game to the Montreal Canadiens, who apparently started a rookie goalie. And there was this big thing. Everyone's like, oh, the Canadiens started a rookie goalie and the Leafs lost to them. They were shut out by them. Shut out. Montreal scored once. Let's not over exaggerate. Yeah, technically that 1-0 is technically a shutout, but like,
yeah,
I don't know.
But like barely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? And also, rookie goalies always have beginner's luck. That's why the Devils kept burning through them last season.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They're
There's
good
a
for
strategy
2 games,
to it.
and then they get broken.
Didn't Toronto also do the same thing for this game? Didn't they start a rookie goalie this day? Am I thinking of the right game? That we are talking about.
Yes, it was. I think, yes. The Devils.
I'm pretty sure they did it for this one too.
Yes, you're correct.
Interesting with these teams starting rookie goalies in their home openers.
Back when, you were a team, remember being a team that had to rely on a rookie goalie? What's that like? We have veteran goalies on the Devils.
I don't know. It just feels so far away. I can't remember that.
Whatever. Anyway, in theory, the Devils had the advantage going into this game. It's a home game. It's a home opener. Energy is high. They had multiple days coming back from Prague to like recover and rest up and get ready for this game. Some people tried to say that maybe they had too much time to rest up and they got rusty that quick. I always think it's funny how if the team plays plays quickly back to back, it's always, they didn't have enough time to rest.
Yeah.
And if they have like multiple days between games, it was, they had too many days to rest. Like,
yeah, right.
Is there some sort of algorithm to the exact amount of time a hockey team the exact appropriate amount of time the team is allowed to rest where fans will not use that against them?
Yeah.
I think that's what they're suggesting. Yeah.
It's exactly 36 hours or something.
We need to do some more devil's math and figure out what the exact length of time is between games.
I was going to say, even if we know the exact devil's math, people are still going to use that excuse anyway.
You're not wrong. Yeah.
And you would think that the Leafs would have more disadvantages after coming off a loss and then immediately traveling from Montreal overnight to New Jersey. You would kind of think that they would come out tired, maybe feeling a little disheartened, but boy, did they not.
No. Yeah.
They took all of that anger at Montreal and directed it directly at the Devils.
Yeah, they did.
And perhaps at their former coach, Sheldon Keefe. They came out like revenge dress style.
Yes.
Like you're seeing an ex and you have something to prove.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, that energy that we carried in Prague is what the Leafs used against us.
And it was
really hard to watch.
The former coach magic. They scored not once, not twice, but thrice within the first period.
Ugh.
I just blocked it out of my memory.
You got up to get food after the second time they scored. And I remember the third puck went in and I texted you and I was like, don't come back. You don't want to see this.
Yeah. My dad, he's like, I think is that a replay or did they score again? Like while we were getting
it was like immediate.
I was like, oh no, it has to be the replay. And then we sat down. He's like, no, they scored again.
Yep.
And he's like, all right, we're leaving.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
I sat there shocked, jaw dropped. And it was so funny because from where I was sitting, I could see both Timo and Dawson just go, fuck.
Yeah.
I really liked we experienced that together. We were really miserable in it at the same time.
Yeah.
And for the rest of the game, it was just a fuck. So what went wrong? Not necessarily the usual thing. Maybe I don't know. This thing that I think is worth noting, the final score, what was 4-2?
Yes.
But it was not really the Leafs' top two lines scoring. It was mostly the bottom two. And the Devils did seem to keep podcast enemy Austin Matthews and friends kind of tied up. Austin. I'm sorry.
Austin.
It didn't work out for them in the end. I do think the fact that they were able to keep Austin and co pretty tied up for most of the game tells me that there was some sort of forethought here. There was some sort of strategy. There was someone in the kitchen cooking up a plan that we are going to go after Austin and keep him as tied up as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did early on wonder if the reffing was I hate this excuse, but there was I wondered if the reffing was a little biased because Dougie got murdered right in front of me. Right in my line of sight, and the refs did not give a fuck. It was
whole stadium screamed. And sometimes, the fans, every little thing, but this one was just even the players on the ice
it was
were
blatant.
Wait, why didn't play stop?
I will say, I do think the refs ended up making it up to the Devils. I think they recognized it because when I looked back at the box score, in my memory, I thought that the Devils had been robbed of a lot of penalties. But when I actually looked back, the Leafs served 5 penalties to the Devils 2.
Yeah.
So I think the Devils, they had it made up to them. They had enough chances. 5 penalties, 5 power plays. While we're on the subject, can we talk about the power play?
Yeah.
So
let's talk about it.
Yeah.
There was a post on Twitter from one of the reporters after this game, at the practice that they had after this game, that Nico made the first power play unit, which is him, Dougie, Jack Timo, and Jesper Bratt, hang back and go over their strategy. Apparently they were over at the whiteboard having a little powwow.
Okay.
And this made me feel a little vindicated because I remember sitting in the arena watching this power play. And I'm not saying it was the worst thing ever because clearly Bratt scored the Devils' first goal and it was a power play goal. So obviously they were able to produce something. So I'm not saying it was abysmal, but just in the arena, it was kind of Looney Tunes. It was a Looney Tunes ass power play. And I remember seeing like online, a lot of people were calling this like some of their strongest moments of the game. And I don't know, maybe the later power plays were just worse, and that kind of like colored my opinion of it. But like the only word I can use to describe it is like frenetic. Like it was panicked. Like that first power play unit they were like
frenetic.
Yeah. Did I say what did I pronounce it?
Frenetic.
Yeah, that's the same thing. This emphasis on the syllable.
Yep.
Frenetic. Yeah, you're right. New words here on Hot Girls Hockey. My point is they act like gazelles at the watering hole. Like you would think that they were the ones on the disadvantage, not the ones on the man advantage. I don't care about your lamp, Shannon.
Sarah, this is what I just showed Allie because I know she's not watching the lamps.
Yep.
Sorry.
My point is I felt vindicated that Nico pulled them aside and made them go over the plan because it did not seem like they quite had their chemistry together yet.
Yeah, he knew something was not quite meshing together there.
Something else that's not quite meshing. How do you guys feel about the Timo Jack Brat line?
I have strong feelings about it. Allie?
Yeah.
When we left the home opener, I was talking with you in the car. I was like,
yep,
it's not working. Something needs to change. Like, it's dysfunctional. But now,
the second line,
the Timo, Jesper, Jack Hughes line. And even though it's so dysfunctional, I just decided this is now my favorite line.
What?
Defend.
I want you to know this analysis it's all vibes. There's no facts. There's no stats. This is a true observation of the stars.
Okay. This is some devil's astrology happening here.
Beyond. So, as I've said before, I have compared Timo Meyer to Tabasco sauce, right?
Yes.
He's very to the point.
This was in the sandwich metaphor.
Yes.
For those of you who maybe knew the PB&J sandwich metaphor.
Yeah. So I don't know why, but I just started forming this theme in my head about this line. And I felt that Jesper Bratt is kind of like a jalapeno. It's like this good, consistent heat that most people can enjoy because he is just consistent, but at a higher level. And then Jack Hughes, I have to give credit to the producer on this one helping me out here. It's very similar to pepper jack cheese. He's unassuming until it's too late because everyone picks up the pepper jack cheese at the party and they're like, oh, it's fine, it's cheese. And then you feel the spicy, you're like, oh no, it's instant regret. So my point is, in this analogy that I've put together, they all know how to bring the heat. And I think they just need to figure out the right combination of spice levels to deliver a knockout. In time, I truly think the second line is going to be the hottest line out there for the Devils.
This is an ad read?
No way. I just had to throw it out there. This is how I feel about this line in my head now. So I really like them and I'm rooting for them and I want them to figure it out.
I can't disprove your hypothesis. So, sure.
Yeah. You've convinced me here, actually.
I'm not really sure what meal we're creating with pepper jack cheese, Tabasco sauce, and jalapenos, but
stuffed jalapenos.
I'd like to eat it, whatever it is.
With pepper jack cheese.
There you go.
I've already thought about it. I've been thinking about it.
All right. Yeah. Until that time,
yes,
that you perfect this recipe, I do think that the vibes are a little off. I don't think it's impossible that it could work.
Yeah.
Because we have seen this line last season, but I don't think it's a fair comparison because Jack and Timo were both injured for extended periods last season and were not playing up to their maximum capabilities. So I don't know if it's fair to judge the chemistry of that line based off of that season. And I think it's still a little too soon to know for certain because Jack did not really have much of a break. He went from playing on an injured shoulder for the end of the season straight into a surgery that he then had to recover from and then came back to training. So I think it's reasonable that it's taking him a little bit of time to get back in the swing of things.
Yeah.
He and Jesper Bratt
still isn't quite himself yet.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
And he's still playing like his high risk, high reward style that, when he loses control of the puck with his like fancy little moves, it leads to some unfortunate turnovers. And Bratt is like fast enough that he can kind of like keep up with him and like stay locked in with him.
Yeah.
Timo just like plays a little bit differently. He's a little bit.
Yeah.
That's the thing that just like, it's almost there. Like they
just need to figure out how to use him.
Right. Like it's so interesting to me because they all have a similar style, but it's just like off by like one. Like I don't know how to describe it. It's like
I don't know if it's necessarily about having a similar style, if it's about having a complementary style.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I think that's what they need to figure out what Timo needs to do to complement. Because Bratt and Jack already have that figured out.
I was going to make another dumb color analogy.
And it's not that it's not working at all because clearly both Jesper Bratt and Timo have been scoring. Yeah. And Jack finally got on the board. So like, it's not terrible. It just seems to be not 100% there yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you
time.
move any of them?
Oh my gosh. We tried so hard when we talked about this in the car. No, the line just has to work. Like, I don't want to move anybody else because we'll get to it later on how the other lines are doing. I'm like, it's great. I personally just want to send them away on like a bonding vacation.
When you put a pin in that, we'll talk about it later.
Okay.
But for right now, I want to see things play out. I'm not ready to be like, we got to move this person here.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
My last comment on this game is that a moment of appreciation for Seamus Casey, because towards the end, when it was obvious that like the Devils were, almost out of options, they pulled the goalie and he just like rocketed off the bench and made like what I can only call a continental pass. Like it went across the continental United States from one end to the other. And if it had connected, I feel like it was Brendan Dillon at the other end. I can't really remember who was on the other end to like waiting for it.
Yeah.
But if it had connected, there was a wide open net. It would have gone in and it would have been so fucking cool. It didn't work out, but I respect the hustle and I like him. Please keep Seamus Casey.
He is great.
Please.
How did it feel watching this game, Sarah? I was definitely dazzled a lot by the lights that were going on and not as aware as Allie as how we were playing.
I was hopeful going in, but then, getting scored on first.
Yeah.
It had to happen eventually.
It takes down the vibes a little bit. We never learn. It's the vibes watching it at home were not great all the time. I wrote at one point when the score was 4-1, I for one didn't think this game would go like this.
Oh. All right. Next we played the Capitals.
Cursed.
This was cool because we won.
They beat the Capitals curse finally.
Yeah.
This is like a team this geriatric team just always manages to foil them for some reason, even though they can skate circles around them.
Yeah. I was highly attuned when watching this game and had been the first one I got to watch at home fully, which was super satisfying. And I just feel like we are weirdly wound too tight compared to last season. Like last season, I remember we would say this all the time. I felt like we just looked tired when we would come out for the first period. But something about this Capitals game, I feel like we had too much espresso. Like we need one less shot.
So like who in particular?
To keep this energy
up. I disagree. I actually think that some lines in particular put on like a perfect performance.
Okay, funny enough, I am talking about the second line.
Okay.
And it was just I felt like we would get control of the puck a lot, but we didn't know how to control our control.
The second line.
Yeah. And it was just kind of funny. Like, we had the puck, but we weren't able to do what with it that we needed to do.
It's more of that frenetic energy where like,
yeah,
any of the
Same
three
vibe.
of them get the puck and then it's like they have not figured out yet. Do I shoot? Do I pass?
Yes.
It's there's like not a clear defined role yet. And it almost seems like Timo is trying to be a bit too courteous. Like, I feel like he came from the Sharks where it was like funnel the puck to Timo and he'll shoot.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's on a line where all three of them can shoot. And it's like they're kids on the playground trying to share a little too much and they don't know whose turn it is to take the shot.
But to follow up about the lines you were talking about, I feel like this game was about the story of the third and the fourth line.
100%.
Absolutely.
They have proven to be that they have their shit on lockdown, including Markstrom. And it just made me feel happy about this game.
This Cotter, Holland, Nason line cooks.
Yes, I'm so glad that they brought Cotter up for this.
It was so good. I had a good time watching. I mostly talked about vibes again.
Yeah, no, the vibes were good and the vibes were 100% being dominated by, I can't even say like the bottom six. It was really like Seamus Casey plus Markstrom plus Cotter, Holla, and Nason.
Yeah.
That was really the game.
And Tatar.
And Tatar.
Yes.
He had a sick goal in this game. So my God, I don't even remember how he ended up like falling backwards.
Yes.
And with his stick like sort of behind him, he still managed to hit it backwards into the goal as he fell onto the ground. The replay of it was just chef's kiss.
Yeah,
beautiful.
he was like sliding booty across ice.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It was perfect. And it was one of those things that I reminded me why I liked him is just his like grit and determination and his commitment to see the play through to the end.
Oh yeah. Just like willing to do whatever it needs to be done to get that in.
I feel that the whole team has been giving a lot more of that effort recently, even in the game that we just watched, but we'll get to it. But I just feel like there's a lot more trying, even if they know they don't have a chance, they're still putting in the same amount of effort, winning or losing.
Yeah, and speaking of effort, I definitely noticed that the first power play unit seemed to be much more connected. They had like 2 early power plays. Well, okay, the first power play had like no shots on goal, and that was like a classic. They were like, at least not from the first unit, and they were like they're just so perfect. They're like waiting for the perfect lane. They're waiting. It's okay. It's okay. And then I don't know, like Nico got tripped or something and they went straight back to the power play. This one, different, quicker. They were shooting. They were not hesitating. They were divisive. They were not gazelles at the watering hole. They were the lions. I don't even remember if they scored on that power play. I don't even care. It just looked like it was finally coming together. Something else that got me excited in this game was some Kovacevic appreciation.
Yes.
Is it Kovacevic or Kovacevic? It's Kovacevic.
It is Kovacevic, and I said it wrong in the last episode, so I would like to formally apologize to him for that.
So there was this moment where he played ping pong with the puck and almost managed to like volleyball it over the shoulder of Lindgren and like through midair into the net. It almost went in and then it just went like over the net completely. And that was just fun. That was some fun little silliness that I liked. But then what happened was like pretty shortly after that, the Caps regained possession, blah, 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 skating to the other side. Timo got tackled by Dubois from behind. And if watching this, if like me, you initially assumed it was an accident, Dubois made sure to like smack Timo on the back of the head as he was getting up just to rub salt in the wound. And I'm sure Shannon has this in like her later segment.
Yeah.
But So like Kovacevic immediately saw this happening and just jumped Dubois. And I don't care if they took a penalty. That was hot.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad he did it. Once again, I'm glad that we have him and other players on this team that are willing to take that fight for their teammates. Let everybody else know, like, this is not okay. You can't treat us this way anymore.
Yeah.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Like my overall takeaway from this game, it wasn't perfect, no. But they found a way to win and they didn't need the top 6 to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I think that's wonderful because that's like the beauty of having a team with depth. Like it doesn't matter if your top 2 lines are still figuring out their chemistry. It doesn't matter if like Jack is having an off day or he's like fighting off an injury, or if Timo didn't sleep on the airplane or whatever, or like if someone's just not feeling it. You have other teammates who you can rely on, and you don't have to carry the team on your own, and you can still win a game. And like they had to work for it, but they did it.
All right.
You know the best thing about this? I have one more thing actually.
Oh, okay.
Go for it.
Alex Ovechkin is a big baby and lost. That makes
Didn't
me
score
happy.
any goals. He's not getting that fucking record.
Didn't.
Yeah, I was. Oh my gosh, how did I miss? The one thing I wanted to mention, what I loved was Nico.
Oh yeah,
pulled some real captain shit, and he took the hit from
Ovechkin. Yeah,
and
that let Mercer
score and just end it there, and that was super cool to watch. And it was also super satisfying because it was Ovechkin who did the hit, and it was like, no.
Yeah, man, you're gonna break a hip. Like, don't.
Yeah,
like Nico's 100% gonna come out.
Yeah,
better on the other end of this. What are you doing?
Well, I'm excited to hear about the next game because I just saw the score on the app because I was working.
I think
Tell
you
me
and everyone
what
else
happened. Well, yeah, because I didn't realize what time the game was
Yeah.
on, and I was so mad.
So our next game was our first appearance against the brand new Utah Hockey Club. And they put the pressure on at the beginning. It was a little aggressive, but we were also able to keep some pressure going.
Well, they came into this game hot because they had not yet lost a game.
They certainly had not.
I think this was only their 3rd or 4th game, but I
believe it was their 4th. Yeah.
They came hot off the victory against the Rangers that went to overtime. And it was a high scoring game too. Didn't it end like 5-6 or something?
I'm not sure. I'd have to
I think
back
it
check.
did.
I don't remember.
I think they scored 6 times.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
It was a quite the game.
Yeah, they're definitely showing up, trying to prove something.
You know who didn't show up though?
Yeah, who didn't show up for this one?
The Otter.
The original Otter.
Yeah, John Marino has been out with injury, so he did not get to have his return to the Rock yet.
He did not.
Or his, what do we call it? The obligatory goal.
Oh, the obligatory former Devils goal?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, he'll get that later in the season.
Yeah.
Eventually,
it's good,
yeah.
Because I like the score of this game. Not ready for it yet.
It is a sexy
who do you
score.
think is going to be the first one from the players that we just lost to get their obligatory Devils goal?
Ooh, Brendan Smith.
Who do you think that's going to be? Oh.
Well, actually, let me see who they're playing soon.
No, it's just going to be Brendan Smith.
I'd like it to be Brendan Smith. That would be more fun.
Yes. He's the only one allowed.
Don't worry. Alex Holtz is not going to be allowed to play as soon as he steps foot in the Rock. That Lindy Ruff curse is permanent.
Yeah. Even with Lindy Ruff gone.
Yeah, he's going to be benched. It's like a magnet. He steps foot in there and just shoop right onto the bench.
Yep.
Seamus Casey. And all of these names that we keep hearing, again, fucking crushed this game. Okay, the real question I had watching this game. So it starts, scoring opens with Seamus Casey gets a power play goal, and then Nason scored after that. At some point, allegedly, I went to like a doctor's appointment and I came back and there were rumors that Paul Cotter was on Jack's wing briefly for some point. I don't know if that was true or not, or if that was a fever dream.
It might have happened. I don't know. I missed it if it did.
But what I was really watching is that Seamus Casey kind of rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And they kept cutting to Brett Pesci in the box during this game.
They did indeed show him yawning.
Yeah. He looked sleepy.
Interesting.
And he can stay out on injury 5 ever because I want to keep Casey.
Yeah, I'm so nervous.
So I have a little question for you.
Him and Luke are back. I'm so nervous that they're gonna get rid of him. But
yes, so like pretend
they shouldn't.
Pretend for a second you're Sheldon Keefe.
Okay.
Luke and Pesci, they're back.
Okay.
They're off injury. They can play again. You have Casey. He's been scoring. He's been strong defensively.
Yeah.
Who are you sending to Utica?
There's an obvious answer to me.
Me too. But we could go through all of the silly potential answers.
I don't know if my answer is even a possibility.
That's
so
okay.
I'm going to say, wow. I really had to think about who all the defensemen are.
Yeah, pick anyone.
And I like all of them right now. So this is really difficult. Well, not like all of them. I was going to say Nate Bastian, but
That's
can't.
Not defense, so.
Yep, never mind. This is what I mean.
Although, if we want to bench
for you.
Nate Bastian and put Seamus Casey up as a forward instead.
Well, so that's a fringe option.
It is a fringe option.
That is a fringe option because Casey, I think, did play center briefly at Michigan sometimes. So he is potential to be our Brendan Smith defenseman, fourth line winger.
Just read your quote unquote correct answer and am really disappointed. I don't like your answer, Allie.
Okay.
Even if it makes sense-ish, it's still a no from me.
It's the correct answer though, Shannon.
So who pick someone, Shannon? Which defenseman? Who you have to? You have to. You're
pick.
Keith.
You have a gun
You're
to
the
your
coach.
head. You have to pick.
You have to pick someone. Who are you
I
sending?
would just say pretend you're still injured. You stay out. Rest up the whole year.
To which
Come
one?
back next year.
To who?
To Luke.
So you're keeping Luke out.
All right.
So if you're going to keep Luke out, you might as well just send him down.
Gotta get him some ice time.
That's an option.
It is an option, but there's just something about having two brothers on the team that just like marketability wise, I think is just so good for the team that I don't want that.
So I think the option that I think realistically speaking, they're most likely going to send Nemitz down.
Yes.
Or
and they should.
Might send Casey down. There is a third option. If Luke is like better, but not 100% and just wants to get some practice, they could send him down. But I don't know. I feel like they're going to keep him around.
I feel like they're less likely to do that just because of what you were saying, Shannon, about, having both the Hughes there.
Yeah.
But
how funny would it be if they just put Pesci on waivers before he even gets to play? He gets snapped up.
I don't think it's gonna happen, but you never know.
It would be silly.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I'm not the coach because I don't know what I'd actually do to make this work because I like everybody and I wish there was room for everyone.
Yeah. It's got to be Nemitz though. There was actually an article that Roman sent me the other day from like Pucks and Pitchforks, I think it was, that was singling Nemitz out as a problem in the defense actually. So
just gonna be
other people are noticing it.
Jake Allen, the Devils made this game relatively easy on him. But towards the end, Utah pulled their goalie at 4 minutes left. It's a Lindy Ruff move there.
It's a lot, yeah.
And this did let Utah put a little bit of pressure on Jake Allen, and he stayed locked the fuck in. He's like, I've been waiting all game to play, and I'm not letting Utah do anything, and he shut them out. It was beautiful. I loved that.
He was getting that win against his 33rd team.
Hell yeah.
He knew.
He was like, I'm doing this. And the team, the Devils, 28 hits in this game. They were physical.
Who are we?
I don't even know. I have a little bit of trivia for y'all.
Okay.
Do you know when the first shutout that the Devils had last season was? Or who did it? It's in my notes, so sorry. It's not really.
I'm gonna not read your notes.
It's not really like a trick question.
You mean which goalie?
Which goalie and like when in the season did it occur, like vaguely?
Oh,
I think it was Nico Dawes at the end of the season.
It was Kakkonen at the end of the season who got the first shutout.
oh my God.
There's
That's
a name you haven't thought of in a while.
at the very end then.
It was like March,
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
It took them until March to get a shutout, and now they have one at the 5th game.
Was that the only one? That was probably the only one they had.
I can't remember because I also vaguely recall a Nico Dawes shutout. I think Shannon's right, but
Okay.
But I'm not
I think
sure
it might
when
have happened
or,
afterwards.
Yeah. Still, though, the difference between the very, very tail end of the season and our 5th game.
There's definitely a shift in how we've been playing, and I like it.
Yeah.
Let's keep going.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
let's talk about Carolina. Okay. The Hurricanes.
The other bookend of this where we lost again.
Sad.
Lost at the beginning, lost at the end.
But I'm not even mad about it.
Me either.
No, you can't win them all.
You can't.
And as much as we like to be delusional and think that we're going to be atop the NHL for as long as we can, coast it, there's going to be some that we lose despite that.
So this game is one. Carolina is a team that can kind of give the Devils the runaround. They're fast. They're aggressive. They are not a team that is going to let the Devils set up and take their time to like create a perfect play, a perfect lane. They're like a team that you have to rob opportunities from.
Oh, yeah. They are going to knock you down at every chance.
And this first period was like flew by.
Yeah. I thought I was going to make it in time to see a little bit after I left work. And then it was first intermission. I was like, why? What happened?
The game did not stop.
No, it really didn't.
You blink and you miss it.
Mm-hmm.
There were very few. There was no goals in the first period, no penalties.
Yep.
Very few stops in the play.
Yeah.
It was pretty constant back and forth. I would say the Canes had the upper hand on the pressure and the Devils were spending a lot more time defending, but they did not crack under the pressure.
They did not, though. That is the thing.
So like the two big differences that I noticed going into this game, because this would have been a very different game last year. This first period would not have ended 0-0.
No.
This period would have ended 3-0 and with pulling the goalie.
Yes.
And like VTech would have been out and the rookie of the week would have been in.
Yep, they would have definitely switched them for the second.
The two big differences were that one, the Devils did not look panicked. Yes, the Canes were kind of giving them the runaround, but they were sticking with it. They were not buckling under the aggression, and they looked patient and not anxious.
Yes.
And part of that was because they had Markstrom able to like stop these high danger chances. Some incredible chances that he shut down and was able to like keep them in it and let them settle down and just wait for their opportunity to strike. And so then they go into the first period 0-0, or go out of the first period, into the first intermission 0-0. Get time to rest, recuperate in the locker room, review your strategy, and come back out a little refreshed. And the patience paid off because we finally got what everyone has been waiting for.
It's true.
We scored first.
Who scored first?
We did, yes. But yeah, it's the who that matters.
It's funny because I wrote Jack Hughes, but I like Sarah's note better.
I wrote Jacuzzi finally scores his first of the season.
Hell yeah, he did.
Woo!
Jacuzzi.
And honestly, I took this. I was so excited by this goal that I just took it and I ran. I was like, this is proof about my theory. The second line is great. Everything's going to work out. It's happening now. I was overzealous. Not yet, but I'm just saying.
But it's like it's an inkling of proof there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved it. It was so good.
That was a beautiful moment. Like watching them just like keep pace and not get too hasty and not get too anxious and just capitalize at the right moment. It was beautiful.
Right.
We were feeling incredible. And
I was riding that high.
For the first, 29 minutes?
Yeah, it was like 21, 29, something like that.
29 minutes of the game. And then there was a little boo-boo.
I'm just going to ignore the rest of the game. I'm just going to remember the goal, Jack's goal, and then I'm okay. And Nico's.
Yeah. So I think like the best way to sum it up is after this point, I do think the Devils finally started to get tired. This was the second game of a second half of a back-to-back. They had traveled in between. They really were, trying to keep up with the Canes for that first period, and they did okay. But I do think they finally just got a little worn out, started like making some silly, like little like tired, sloppy mistakes. Not because they weren't trying, but just because you get worn out.
Yeah.
And Carolina scores. And they score again. Carolina takes the lead, and we all felt sad.
Yeah. But I wasn't like mad. I was just sad. It was a very different, disappointed feeling this game. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, why? I didn't have to ask why. I kind of knew. So I felt better.
Right. It wasn't like, Toronto scoring 3 times in one period.
Exactly.
We get nothing again,
Yeah. And I don't know. I didn't feel too, even when it became obvious that Carolina was probably going to win this game, it didn't make me feel desolate the way some of the games did last. Like, do you remember some of those games last season when it was just obvious that the Devils were going to lose, and you could tell that they knew they were going to lose too, and they just started playing like they wanted to get it over with and wanted to get out of there as soon as possible. And it's just like not fun to watch as a fan.
No.
And I'm sure it's not fun for them either to play through those games.
Sure.
But
yeah.
It just makes the whole thing kind of miserable. Or those other games where like they were dominating and then somehow would find a way to lose.
Yes.
Mhm.
That was weird too. This was not one of those games. The Canes were definitely outplaying them, but they were doing their best. They did not roll over and die.
Yeah.
They didn't like check out. They gave it everything. And they played it up to the end because
They did.
last couple minutes, they end up with a 5-on-3.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. This 5-on-3, I'm glad it went the way it did, because if not, then I was going to have same feelings from last season.
Yeah, I was like, if they can't score 5-on-3,
Then yeesh.
There's something else going on that we're going to have to start talking about. But it was very satisfying because you could tell they were like a little hectic in the beginning, but then they settled it.
Yeah, because who settled it?
again, some captain shit here with Nico.
Yeah.
You could tell you wanted that so bad that he was not letting that power play end with anything but a goal.
Mm-hmm.
And
the look on his face after that was like, oh, finally.
Such relief.
Yes. Because he knew it too. If they didn't score.
And they got it within. They were 2-3. They you go to the timeout. It's the drama. It's the wait. It's okay. What are they going to do? How are they going? Because there was still like 4 minutes left.
Yeah,
you could do something with that time.
Oh,
and there was actually a little bit of power play time left. So you go to you strategize. They pull the goalie after a little bit later.
I know.
And for a brief moment, it seems like the Devils have it. They get set up in the offensive zone.
We were so close.
They pass
so close.
A little bit back and forth. It goes to Jesper Bratt. The net is wide open.
The Jesper Bratt.
Jack to Jesper Bratt, yeah.
Yeah. More proof of your lines working here, Shannon.
Thank you.
Jesper Bratt. Perfect open lane to a wide open net. And he just fans on it. He just misses the puck.
Yeah.
And you know that one's going to keep him up.
Oh, yeah.
You know he's thinking about that one right now.
Oh, I bet he is. He's going to be mad. Hopefully next game we'll see him immediately come off of the bench and just score because he's still so mad about it.
When do they play again?
Definitely.
Saturday?
Thursday.
Thursday. Okay. So he'll He'll have a good 48 hours to stew over that one.
Mhm.
Damn,
Hopefully
if
that's
that
the
had
correct
gone
devil's
in.
math number of amount of stewing that he needs to do.
It feels
Maybe
right.
that's what we're making. Maybe it's not a sandwich. Maybe it's not a smoothie. Maybe it's a stew.
Maybe it is a stew.
Maybe it's a stew.
Actually.
I love stews, so I'm all about
You can
this.
put peppers in stew.
It's so funny because it's not like we don't eat or are eating while we do this. Like we're not super hungry, but all we can do is talk about.
We love a good
Yet
food
all
metaphor.
we do. Yeah.
Well, speaking of food, stay with me.
Okay, I'm staying with you.
After Jesper's pass shot doesn't connect. At some point, I don't remember. Game's winding down, running out of time. Dougie, I think, got the puck and did what Dougie's gonna do and took a slap shot,
Yes, he did.
and it didn't go through, but it did turn over.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they
So mad.
tried like hell to get this puck back, but of course, it went straight into the empty net.
Yeah,
Yep.
it did. It was sad.
My connection here was filet dessert.
Yeah. An
yeah.
upsetting filet dessert.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, food, fillets, I don't know.
Yep.
It gets
Desserts.
there. It gets there.
Not a dessert that I want to have.
Not the dessert that we wanted tonight.
No.
Mm-mm. But you know what? I'm not mad about it.
No, I'm okay.
I think there was enough there that they can build on the next time they play Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. All right. So let's move on into our Skrcuffle Award.
I'm excited.
Because this is where we give awards to the most cinematic fights of the week. This week, the one thing that I really wanted to talk about, Ali already highlighted during the Capitals game, was when Kovacevic attacked Dubois for the extra shot that he took on Meyer. I just have to paint the picture. When Dubois hit Meyer, he also didn't just like fall on him on the ice. They also skid across the ice together. And it felt like Dubois was riding Meyer like a penguin for like a hot moment.
What
and
a
it just
sentence.
like it's too long. I will replay that. If you watch that back, I was like, that was just too long. Like they skid together across the ice.
Yeah.
And as we know, Dubois took that extra shot at Meyer while he got up. And I was just so happy that like Kovacevic saw it and acted on it. And he just said, nah. This is, you don't get away with this shit. Dano said this, something along these lines, that which we all agreed with the same sentiment. I'm not even mad that he got the penalty
That's a
for
great
instigating
penalty.
the fight. Like that was one of those ones that it was absolutely worth it. I'm giving this an award.
Ooh,
our first award.
An award.
Oh.
I'm trying to think of, it's not best drama, but it's more along the lines of writing. This is like,
Okay.
Good
Like a screenplay
writing.
kind of.
yeah.
I have a proposition.
Okay, give it to
I
me.
don't know if it's good. Best supporting actor.
Ooh.
He was supporting Timo,
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go with it. I want to give Kovacevic best supporting actor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yay.
Congrats to him.
Congrats, buddy.
So we're gonna move on and get into, I don't even know how to transition anymore. Holy shit.
That's all right.
All
That
right.
works.
I think that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Allie,
Yeah.
what are the whispers on the Twitter wins this week?
All right, I got a couple of little things. We're gonna go out of order. First one, this is not
Okay.
really a whisper on Twitter wins. I just thought this was interesting. Macklin Calabrini already has a hip injury. Bro showed
A
up
hip
to
injury?
a hip.
No.
Hip.
He's like a baby.
Yeah,
How can you have a hip injury? That's not fair.
maybe just like pulled a muscle over his hip. I don't know,
And I heard that everybody was loving him.
or greater trochanter injury. Maybe I don't know.
Mm.
Yeah, he showed up to his first game, scores his first NHL goal.
Yeah.
I think it was in his first game. I don't know. He scores his first
Yes.
NHL goal and then says, "Peace, y'all. Going to the hip store."
Poor kid. But hey, that means more of a chance for KC to get the Calder Trophy.
Hell yeah.
So
start the vote now. Start
We're
the
starting
count.
the campaign. Yeah.
Yeah. A 4-year consideration campaign. Seamus Casey, Calder Trophy.
Yes.
Sorry, Macklin. All right. Got some drama.
Yeah.
Love a drama.
Started on Book Talk and then spilled over to Twitter. So
What the fuck is book talk?
it's TikTok for people who talk
Shannon.
about books. But it's like specific types of books.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I didn't know.
That's okay. And
What?
the books that Book Talk likes, there's a couple of different flavors.
Okay.
But one genre that's very popular is like sports fiction, like romantic sports fiction, but particularly like hockey romance fiction for some reason. I don't know why hockey is the chosen sport. I think it probably just has to do with, what is that book? Icebreaker? I think that maybe started the trend.
Beats me. I don't know, but I don't know why. Yeah, hockey, I guess, just feels like accessible enough, but yet like not quite big enough that people who are reading these books wouldn't question it.
Yeah, it's really it's a very popular genre. And the funny thing about this genre is that a lot of these authors who are writing these romance books will take inspiration from real life people and teams, but they'll like vaguely change the team name instead of like they'll
Like instead of the Devils, they'll do like the Hellraisers or something like that.
Yeah, but like the same color scheme. Yeah. And they'll have like main characters and love interests who are obviously inspired by like an actual player, yada, yada, yada. And something that will also happen too is every once in a while, TikToks will go viral of like just a real hockey player, like a fan edit of a real hockey player, and people will be like, "Oh my gosh, this is so and so character from so like book," and it's like a fan cast type thing, you know?
Okay.
Anyway, Book Talk discovered Vince Dunn this week, who plays for Seattle Kraken.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And he went viral on Book Talk for being hot. That's not the interesting thing. That's not the drama. The drama is that just like every time Vince Dunn goes viral, we on Twitter get to do the "is Vince Dunn racist" discourse all over again.
Oh, okay. I'm not on Twitter, so this is fascinating to me.
It's like death, taxes, and is Vince Dunn racist?
Yeah. It's just all a cycle.
Every cycle we get to do this again.
Yeah.
And we're going to do this till this man retires.
Oh boy.
Probably even after.
when Pinterest edits of him make their way through the internet again. I won't, like, it's honestly, I don't even remember how long ago this happened. So I won't bore you with all of like the details. The cliff notes of it is that like he was on some sort of live stream and he was singing along to a song and said the N-word multiple times. And then I think there are like other examples or allegations. I don't know. I think that's like the primary one.
Yeah.
The point is, it's just, we get to see this every couple of months, and I'm sure in a couple months again, I'll let you know when we go back through this cycle.
All right.
Like a weather report.
When it comes back in season.
I'm dying about the last one.
The last one. Yeah. So the last one is like not... It's like a weird one. Like the Vince Dunn thing, obviously, you can understand why that was drama. Like, don't say that word, right? Bad.
Right. Yeah.
This one, I'm so confused how this turned into drama.
Ow, this became drama? I thought this was just a question you were posing to Sarah and I for
fun. I'm going to do both.
Oh, okay.
I have a question for you guys.
Okay.
I'm so ready.
Are Jack and Nico friends?
My gut reaction or gut answer, no. I don't think they're friends.
No, me neither.
Really? Okay.
I think they are true teammates in the sense of teammates that they get along in practice and when they play, but I don't think they hang out together off the rink, off the ice.
Completely agree. They seem like they have very different personality styles, and just probably the things that they like to do they don't seem to align. And I feel like I've never seen a picture of them hanging out together outside of it. So
would
Agreed.
you call them work friends?
yeah, they're work friends.
This is so funny because you guys have like so quickly encapsulated the exact arguments that like some of them word for word that broke out on Devil's Twitter. This is
Oh my gosh.
I don't know how this started. Someone like this was like multiple layers. Someone tweeted something about Devil's Twitter being annoying or whatever. I don't even remember.
What else is new?
Or like about how like the Devils are like the most like talked about team on Twitter. Like the Devils community
Good.
has a lot of fans on Twitter.
Love it.
It
And?
could just mean that we have a terrible choice in apps. It may not be.
Yeah.
You know.
And then somehow this snowballed into like people talking about how a lot of like fans assume or want to think that their favorite players are all like best friends with each other. And then somehow this turned into a teenage girls, you know, they think Jack and Nico are best friends. And this snowballed out of control.
I mean, we did say a couple episodes ago that every single one of them are best friends and they hang out all the time outside
Correct.
of this, you know.
That is inarguable.
So,
Yeah.
So where this gets interesting,
I'm curious.
is that a lot of people argued, like you guys did, that they're like seem to like very different people, that they're work friends. But then people started digging up this photo of them this summer at a Bruce Springsteen concert in Asbury Park together.
really?
Yeah, Nico, Nate Bastian, and Jack, and someone else was there. I don't remember who the fourth person was.
Wow, I love this.
They were all at a concert together. So it turned into this battle of Nico and Jack clearly have nothing in common. They don't hang out. And then versus here's a photo of them at a Bruce Springsteen concert together. They're clearly best friends. And then everyone being like, well, that's just one concert at one event. That's the only time they've ever hung out together.
Right. They might have been like whoever was the person invited wasn't the first person on the list, but they knew they were in the area and like Bruce
Maybe-
Springsteen and was like, hey,
I
you
don't
want to
think
come?
Nico was in the area and likes Bruce Springsteen. Maybe he does, but I don't think Nico
I mean,
was hanging
maybe.
out in Asbury Park.
But-
I don't think. Jack definitely.
Yeah.
I think so. I think he invited him. I think that's more likely.
Yeah.
Or Bruce Springsteen invited them. That's also possible.
Yes.
But I don't really care if Jack and Nico are friends because obviously they are clearly best friends because everyone on this team is best friends. That is the rule.
It's true. That is what we said. Yeah.
I just think it's funny.
I definitely think they get along, but I don't think it matters.
They're not best friends.
What if they are
Right.
though? What if they're sitting there sending these tweets to each other?
You know, this does bring me
Wouldn't
back
that
to
be
the
funny?
way that we were, especially at the beginning of middle school, where
Oh, yeah.
like when we first became so close, Sarah, I don't know if you know how much you know.
Even to the
because-
point that we graduated, we were so opposite that people did not even think we were friends, let alone best friends.
yes. And
We had this whole campaign our senior year to get us voted best friends
Mhm.
in the yearbook, you know? And
I
we
don't
went
remember
around.
that. Oh my God.
Yeah, we did.
We went around like giving like voting slips to everyone, being like, write us in as like
Mhm.
the best friends of the
That's
class.
hilarious.
And everyone's like, you guys hang out with each other?
People had no idea.
That's so funny. What? I don't remember that at all.
So who knows, Allie?
Yeah,
Maybe
who knows?
they are best friends and just
Maybe.
nobody knows because nobody believes it, even
They're-
though they're like, it's obvious.
Definitely
That's
best
a good
friends.
point.
Maybe they're like a Rory Gilmore, Paris Geller type best friend.
They could be, yeah, actually.
And I think right now they are sitting in each other's apartment in their little footy pajamas, drinking hot cocoa and
footy pajamas.
listening to the show and being like, yeah, that's so funny.
They're so true.
That's so true, bestie.
They got it so right.
Kill me.
Listening to
Oh,
the show
man.
that we're recording currently that isn't out yet.
Yep, that's
Yep.
what they're doing.
That's how it works.
Oh my gosh.
Whatever. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Hey,
Don't worry
speaking
about
of,
it.
Exactly. Because we're just moving right on into the segment where we don't worry about it. Because sometimes I'm saying random shit and the announcers do it too. So let's start off strong with just enough mustard on the wall.
but not too much.
I know they
Just
were
enough.
talking about like the speed of the puck, like how it hit the wall, like putting enough mustard on it. But I literally just thinking about that someone's spraying mustard on the wall and they didn't put enough on there.
Mhm.
They put just enough.
Just enough.
Just enough. Speaking of enough.
Wait, this is a real phrase?
Yeah, so if you want to read it, I think this is funny.
I literally heard this and thought I heard it wrong and put it on here because I thought it was funny anyway. It was either Dan,
I think it was Bill.
Bill said, doesn't have enough English on it.
So what's funny is I heard him say this and said, Shannon's going to put this on the list. It's yeah. So it refers to like spin or like flare. I think it comes from like billiards or like pool. Like people also say it in like golf and tennis and stuff. I think I always learned it in pool. But like if you take a shot out of like the ball and you put like a little bit of spin on it, or like you try to, if like you have like a tight angle, you're trying to get like the ball in a specific pocket, you might say, oh, put a little bit of English on it, as in like put a little bit of spin on it to get that angle. So if you, I guess in this context, it was like, it doesn't have enough English on it. Like he took a shot, but he didn't give it enough spin, enough like angle to like go the trajectory that he needed.
Okay. I feel better that I heard this phrase correctly. And now I'm going to trade out the word spin for English on other things at work because I know it's going to be funny.
Yeah, it's like fun. And I feel like it's one of those more like old-timey colloquialisms.
It feels like, it, yeah.
Put a little English on it. I don't know what that accent was. I'm sorry. Get me out of here.
I liked this one. A whale of a game thus far. Just because we have like a sea creature kind of theme.
We've got foods and sea creatures. That's all we got here.
It's for energy drinks.
And energy drinks.
Yeah.
I forgot about this
the
already.
next one, I might come to this one last. I don't know.
I think that one should be last because I need to hear the story for it.
Yeah. And then next we have Paul Cotter's silky hands. What? Bill said this?
That's very sensual.
Why would his hands be? I can't get into it. But we're just gonna move
Don't
on.
worry about it.
All right. This one's good. Mercer accelerate. What? Okay,
No,
hold on.
so it's
I'm not reading it correctly. I understand where it's trying to go, and I need assistance.
Do you want me to read it?
Yes, please.
Mercer accelerate. Accelerate.
Thank you.
I like accelerate.
I do
Accelerate, yeah.
Accelerate.
I'm accelerating quickly. It's good. Next we got looking for the back door tippin'.
Classic.
It's a great one.
Gotta be done.
Last one here. You two were born after maps were made. This was my father talking about Allie and I.
We were in fact born not just after maps were made, but after all the maps were made.
All maps?
We were born after all the maps were made.
Stop making maps
They
after
stopped
that.
making maps.
Yep.
No more maps.
We're not going to worry about it. Maybe we'll come back to this story another day. Who knows?
We were born after all the maps were made.
Yeah.
Who knows? We'll never find our way back.
And move on into our It Boy of the Week. I have a nomination. There's
All right.
so many that I want to nominate. And I just, because I talked about him and the Skrkafel Award, and I absolutely loved how he tried to volleyball the puck in, I'm going to nominate Kovacevic.
Okay.
Nice. Okay.
There's so many options, but
I
I feel
know.
like I really got to give it to the man who is producing the most offense in these past couple games, Paul Cotter.
Not who I was thinking of either, though.
Oh, we have a real Texas showdown.
All right.
Yeah. I know we gave the It Boy to him last week, but
I
I
did
am a big fan of one Seamus Casey.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I considered him as well. He was my second nomination.
Yeah, that's how do we break this tie?
How do we break this tie? I don't know.
Well, one of us can just fold.
I can
is an
fold
option.
because we gave it to Casey last week. You know,
I'm folding to Seamus Casey.
So this didn't work at all. We still have all 3 nominations in.
No, I
Wait,
think Shannon
no, I'm agreeing with
voted
you.
yours.
No, I'm getting rid of Seamus Casey is what I'm saying.
Oh.
Folding means...
Oh, you folded as well.
Folding means you're getting rid of it.
Oh. Oh, so
Yeah.
So if we both folded.
But you folded thinking that you meant...
So we're back to Seamus and Paul Cotter.
Right.
Are on the table.
Yes.
No.
So Shannon got rid of her nomination, which was
Because I
Kovacevic,
wanted
and
to
endorsed
nominate
Seamus Casey.
All right,
Yeah.
sure.
But you...
I got rid of
You
Seamus
got
Casey.
rid of Seamus Casey. So we're back to 1 vote for Seamus, 1 vote for Paul Cotter? Question mark?
Oh my gosh.
This has never happened like this before.
I know. This is
No, it
this is
hasn't.
very bizarre.
Maybe we'll just have a 3-way tie. Kovacevic, Seamus Casey, Paul Cotter, you are it boys of the week.
It Boys of the Week. I mean, it's the 30th episode. One
Yeah,
for each set. I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
This could be an
Fuck it.
absolute.
Happy birthday, Hot Girls Hockey.
It's gonna be a nightmare to cut that together, but I'm just
I'm
gonna
so sorry.
ignore it. Nope, it's fine.
Ah.
It's fine.
Oh my God.
All right, let's sing it out. Allie, you said you had a song.
Wait. What would the It Boys be?
Oh, you're right. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. I was going to do if they were different types of cheese because we were talking about Pepper Jack Hughes. So,
Perfect.
okay. If Paul Cotter was a cheese, he would be a solid provolone. If Seamus
Cottage
Casey
cheese.
was
Sorry.
what? Oh, cottage cheese.
No.
Fuck,
Don't
I
let me.
missed it.
I didn't mean to cut you
Oh,
off.
I missed it. Oh no.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, scratch that. Paul Cotter would obviously be cottage cheese. What was I thinking? So Seamus Casey can be a Baby Bell. And Kovacevic, he's a monster.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's sing it out.
Well, like everyone on the planet who watched the Netflix Monster series, I've had the Milli Vanilli song "Girl, I'm Gonna Miss You" stuck in my head for days. And I can't sing the song. They sing it in a very particular key. Let me see it. Let me like close my eyes and see if I can do it.
So it sounds right to me.
It's a tragedy for me to see the dream is over, and I never will forget the day we met. I don't know what it sounds like there, but it feels wrong. Girl, I'm gonna miss you.
I'll throw a tambourine in there.
I don't know.
I
It's
feel
good.
like I need to like start dancing around you with a
it's-
musical instrument.
It's very 80s synth, and I can't recreate it. Do something with that. I don't know.
All right, I will, because this is Hot Girls Hockey.
You're leaving.
never
That's
mind.
another part of the song.
It's midnight. It's fine. This is Hot
Yeah.
Girls Hockey. Tune
shit.
in next week for more sugar.
Spice.
And everything ice.
It was like 11:30 last I checked.
I know.
If you like our show,
What happened?
which obviously you do, you stuck around this long.
Yeah.
Please leave us a rating, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and at YouTube, and tweet at us at hotgirlshockey_.
I'm hitting the button.
Slay.
Ooh.